Superman and the Mole Men is the first feature film based on Superman that made its debut in 1951. No longer an animated short or a multi-chapter serial, this theatrical feature would serve to introduce the world to what would eventually become the syndicated TV series, The Adventures of Superman. I guess 2 serials were enough for Kirk Alyn because George Reeves took over as a brand new Superman along with Phyllis Coates as a new Lois Lane. Apparently the film was shot in 11 or 12 days on a studio backlot.
Great Scott!
This might account for the odd lack of the city of Metropolis in a Superman film, because
2 reporters from back east
is the most we hear of Superman City. Set in a small town of Silsbee, Clark and Lois are sent to report on the inauguration of the world's deepest oil well, only to discover that the well's head supervisor, Mr. Corrigan, no, not that guy, has decided to shut the project down. Clark decides to investigate further and...
Oh, nothing. Look around. Maybe talk to the watchman.
Before Clark can get there, the night watchman sees one of the strange mole men who have come from the center of the earth up the shaft created by the world's deepest well. Frightened to the point of heart attack, the night watchman drops dead. Lois and Clark finally learn from Corrigan that when the drilling crew broke through the center of the Earth, they discovered a phosphorus substance like radium. The mole men are later seen by Lois and the rest of the frightened townspeople. They kind of remind me of Clint Howard when he was on Star Trek. Anyway, thanks to their odd appearance and the potential of radiation poisoning, before you know it, the frightened townspeople turn into an angry pitchfork mob, and it's up to Superman to keep both sides from hurting one another. The film could have suffered from the Super Friends syndrome if not for the escalation of the altercations between the townspeople and the mole men. I mean, look at the size of that mole blaster. Eventually, this feature was cut into a 2-part episode titled The Unknown People. Despite the super speed production of the film, ultimately George Reeves is a pretty terrific Superman and sells you on the concept that in a crisis situation, Superman will always find a way.